Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new Hangout. My apologies, this video is a few days late. I just honestly didn't feel like making a video for the last few days. Um, so this comes a bit late. And I also remembered that I said I was going to do a thrifting haul video, which I have not done yet, so I'll try to do that in the coming days. So have patience. I think I'm a little stuffed up and my throat is a little irritated. There is currently a wildfire about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes up the road, and it's causing a lot of smoke to come down my way, which is unfortunate. More unfortunate, of course, for the people who have had to have been evacuated on account of that, but much respect to the firefighters and everybody involved in trying to contain that fire for the greater good. So yeah, it's been kind of weird. Yesterday, so we're into early October now. We're into spooky season. Although I'm not really feeling spooky, I have to admit. I think it's because the weather hasn't really, I really haven't felt that fall feeling yet. Yesterday was like a humidex of 33, which is just ridiculous. And like I said in previous videos, I think we're finally starting to see real tangible results of global warming. And that's very unsettling. So, but all that said, it's been just really hot and just kind of unpleasant. Tomorrow we're supposed to get some rain, so I'm hoping, as of the recording of this video, and then the temperature looks like it's going to go way down from like 33 to like 10. So not only that, but just our bodies and everything and our minds. Crazy times we live in. As you can tell, I'm struggling a little bit, so this video may not be as long as my other ones, but I will do my best. And today I have my Nightmare Before Christmas mug, which I actually use year-round. I don't just bring it out for spooky time. I'm having some kind of fruity tea with some honey in it. So let's dive right into things. Usually the way these videos have been going lately, I talk about what I watched, what I listened to, other stuff like that, and then kind of wrap it up. Some of the music I've been listening to, I'm just kind of put off to the thrifting haul and talk a bit more about it. I have a few things here that I previously owned, which I will talk about. So what did I watch this week? Well, did it suddenly just dim in here very greatly? There we go. Seemed like it got very dark in here. So this week I actually streamed some movies instead of watching physical media, which isn't totally, out of the ordinary for me. I do watch some streaming movies, especially stuff that I don't own or stuff that, like, new releases that haven't come out on physical yet. So I had one last night, actually. I had a great night, and I watched two more recent horror movies. The first one I watched was The Monkey. This was directed by Oz Perkins, who also did Longlegs. And the reason I'm so late to the game with that is because I heard really mixed, mostly kind of negative reviews about that movie. So I just kind of avoided it. But I put it on, and I can't remember laughing that much during a movie. It is like a horror comedy, like a very dark horror, a dark comedy mixed with horror elements. It had, it's based on a Stephen King book or short story. And I'm trying to remember if there was any actors in it that I remembered, but I can't. But yeah, it was really, really funny. The gore and like the horror elements were like pretty graphic. So if you like that kind of thing, it's in there. But yeah, people. I don't want to give too much away, but somebody died, and then there was like it. People are talking about it, and then it cuts to the funeral with the funeral music, and then like next scene, somebody else dies. It cuts right to the funeral music with a picture of the deceased person, and it does that in like rapid succession to the point where it's like it's comical. So I really enjoyed that part. The monkey was creepy as hell. Um, yeah, and I thought it was really fun. I don't know why it got mixed reviews. I think maybe sometimes people aren't used to that kind of mix of that very like abrupt comedy mixed with like the really graphic horror. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the other movie I watched was called Bring Her Back, and that's directed by and I sorry I didn't write their names down, but it's directed by the same people that did the movie Talk to Me. And this movie has Sally Hawkins in it, who you might remember as the female lead in Shape of Water. I think she might have been in one of the newer Star Wars movies as well. She's really good in it. It's basically the story of a woman who becomes kind of like a foster parent to siblings, and one of the siblings has a vision impairment, and the other sibling sort of takes care of her. And then again, I can't talk too much about it without giving it away, but um, it's if you like Talk to Me, I think you probably would like Bring Her Back. Um, it's kind of in that new school of horror, um, a bit more psychological, maybe some like a bit of Hereditary, like that in that kind of vein, but without the occult kind of stuff in it. Um, but yeah, really disturbing film. There's all the young actors in it are amazing. Sally Hawkins is so demented in this movie. Um, so that was like a double feature last night. Bring Her Back and The Monkey, and I was like, this was a great movie night on streaming. So I gotta take another drink. Oh my god, the air is really stale here. I was lamenting that I think even if it's not super smoky smelling, there's still like particles in the air, and it's really really distressing. The other things that I watched on streaming were I rewatched most of the series on Shudder called Cursed Films, which is a series of short documentaries about cursed films. So The Omen, The Exorcist, Poltergeist, Wizard of Oz, Twilight Zone the movie, Rosemary's Baby. I've got a few more episodes to watch. I've previously watched that series, and I thought it was really well done. This time around, I enjoyed it, though I will say sometimes the episodes went really off track from the movie. Um, some of them went off track and then tied it back into the movie, which was good, like with the thematic stuff and like discussing real life stuff. But a lot of times it would go veer off course, and I would think to myself, aren't we talking about, you know, The Omen, for instance? Uh, it would be going off and talking about, just other things related to like the occult or Satan or whatever, and it would just stray really far away. So, and I think the reason I notice is because all my years working in volunteering and volunteer radio, um, the lesson that I always learned from my mentors was, if your show is about fill in the blank subject, stay on topic with that fill in the blank topic. Don't talk about what you ate for breakfast or your cat escaped through the front door this morning. It's like stay on target, stay on target. And so watching this series, I was thinking of my radio days, because if you were talking about a specific thing, you want it to stay kind of around that home base and not stray too far. So that said, I thought it was a really cool series, and I thought some of the stuff in it was very good. They also debunked a lot of the myths about these movies. You could really go down a rabbit hole with some of that stuff where it's like, oh, well, this person died and that person died, and this person got cancer and that person wound up homeless, and all of these things happened. And so they're like, people tie it back into like, is this film cursed? And is this the reason why all this bad stuff happened to people? So if you like that kind of thing, check it out. It's on Shudder. I also have been binge watching the series In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy from the 1970s. It's a little 20-25 minute episode, and they were all different, sort of like supernatural, Bigfoot, Loch Ness, UFOs, witchcraft, all haunted houses. Like each episode would be a different thing. So you could actually watch a surprising number of them on YouTube for free. And I think they redid the series with Zachary Quinto, who coincidentally played Spock in the new Star Trek movies. I think they rebooted that series with him. I haven't seen any of those, but yeah, I just In Search Of is great. I also watched, on physical media, I watched The House with the Clock in Its Walls. It's got a nice shiny cover on it, slipcover. This movie has... excuse me. This movie has Jack Black, Kate Blanchett, I guess Owen Vicard, is that the kid? I can't remember. And Kyle MacLachlan. This was directed by Eli Roth, who also did like Thanksgiving and Cabin Fever and Hostel and all those movies. This is more a more family fare, but it's cool, it's cute. I watched it last Halloween. I popped it on the other night just to kind of unwind my brain, and I really enjoy it. I really like Jack Black and Kate Blanchett, and I thought the little boy in it he's really good in this as well. There's a gag reel on here which I watched, which was really funny. But yeah, The House with a Clock in Its Walls. And the French translation is La Pendule de Halloween. The Halloween clock. So perfect for around this time of year. Once we get some nice, cool fall days, pop this on, see if you like it. I like it. It's, again, last year I went through this phase where I watched a lot of like kids horror movies and kids fantasy movies like Bridge to Terabithia and The Golden Compass and Harry Potter and like a lot of those kind of movies, and probably go down that road again. The problem is with the mainstream horror ones, I've seen most of them that I enjoy. I've seen so many times. It's like, I mean, I'll probably watch John Carpenter's Halloween on Halloween, but I don't know. I also did, just remembered, I watched a documentary about Hammer Horror, which is the British horror film studio from the 60s, 70s, and I believe they're still going. Or they were into the 2010s. They did the remake of A Woman in Black. So that got me thinking about rewatching some Hammer horror. Not only just because it's not really intense, because I'm just not in the mood for that right now, but also those movies have kind of like a cozy vibe to them, which if you watch the Cobwebs channel on YouTube, that person talks a lot about the coziness of the Hammer movies, and so it's a bit of a comfort thing. But yeah, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Vincent Price. I mean, how can you go wrong with that stuff? So the other movie I watched on physical media is the Robert Zemeckis, Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer in What Lies Beneath. And I'm sure I've talked about this movie on my channel before. This is a great little thriller from the year 2000. If you've never seen this and you like Alfred Hitchcock movies, Robert Zemeckis movies, you love Harrison Ford because he's a cutie, You love Michelle Pfeiffer because she's a cutie. This movie's so good, and this is probably in my top 100 movies of all time for sure. I don't know where it would land, but I rewatch this usually once a year. It's a great little thriller. It still gets me. Certain parts of the movie still get me. The bathtub scene. Well, there's several scenes with the bathtub that always get me, but yeah, if you're looking for a really good supernatural thriller, Harrison Ford plays a baddie, which is unlike him, I know, but he plays it really well. So that's basically what I watched this week. I think I've forgotten a few things. Guys, I think I finally decided that I don't really like Suspiria. I appreciate Suspiria, but I just don't think it's one of my favorites. I've given that movie multiple chances, and it sucks me in at the beginning. The colors and the camera angles and the lighting and the music, it's all gorgeous, but at some point I just check out. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I just don't like it, but I mean, am I going to give it like a third or fourth chance? I don't know. But I did attempt to watch that. What else did I watch? I think that's it. So I'm not going to talk a lot about what I listened to this week, just a few things, because most of the stuff I listened to is stuff I recently picked up, which I have not shared with you yet. So that'll be in a thrifting haul video either tomorrow or the next day, I hope, okay? So the things I can say, I listened to Radiohead Kid A. And, people, I bought this album when it came out, and I was in love with it then, and I'm still in love with it now. And the artwork is crazy. It all folds out. There's these see-through things. This like Mylar paper or whatever it is. This to me was like Radiohead really doing what they really wanted to do. So I think like with the Bends and OK Computer and then Kid A, it's like you could see, if you listen to those albums, you can see the gradual change. And I feel like Kid A was like Radiohead saying, this is what we really want to do. We don't want to write alternative rock songs anymore. We want to play with experimental music. We want to play with electronics. We want to play with alternate song structures. We want to just do it all. And for me, and I just put this on the other day, and oh man, it takes me right back to when I first heard it. That opening sound, that sort of haunting like synthesizer. Everything about this album just blows me away. And when I was listening to it recently, I thought to myself, this is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. No word of a lie. Because I do come back to this album every year or two, and it's a fall kind of CD for me. I think I bought it in the fall originally, and I don't know, it always gives me like fall vibes. And I was in Halifax a couple weeks ago, and I had it on my headphones on my little MP3 player. And I was standing in a park just at the edge of like a very busy street, and I put the headphones in and I pressed play on this, and the little thing that comes on before, I don't know if it's before or after the song Everything in Its Right Place. And I just stood in that spot and I just swayed. It was actually a cool fall day. The sun was coming down, very warm, and I had closed my eyes. I had my sunglasses on. I had my bucket hat, and I had the music, and people were walking all different ways around me, and it was just like, and I just stood there and I could feel myself swaying, and it was just like a perfect moment. Talking about being present, right? And I think I don't know if I talked to you last time about the movie Perfect Days, which, spoiler, it is one of the movies I picked up, but I did watch that on YouTube, Perfect Days. It's a Wim Wenders movie from 2023. And if you've never seen that movie, folks, and you want to get mindful, you want to get appreciative of your life, by my God, go check that movie out. It is so meditative and beautiful. And I did pick up a copy, which I'll talk about in the pickup video. But yeah, I think I saw that a couple days before I had this little experience in the city. And it's the energy of the city too, because I live in the country. I hear coyotes at night. Like there's mice in the walls. I'm right out in the woods. So when I go to the city, it's like a different world for me. And I think I'll always remember that moment. I don't know. It was so beautiful. So if you can find a few minutes in your day to really, I mean, we always want to be present, but if you could find those little moments and just really be with it, it's so beautiful. So yeah, so Radiohead Kid A, highly recommend this album. If you've never heard it, go check it out. It's a perfect balance of like the OK Computer to the follow-up album after Kid A, which is Amnesiac. To me, that right in there is just the perfect Radiohead for me. I've recently got onto a lot of Tom York solo stuff, which I'll be sharing with in my pickup video. But I've been listening to a lot of his solo stuff too. He's done some soundtracks. But as far as his work with Radiohead goes, I'd say like Kid A is just top notch. And then the other one I dug out recently, which I haven't listened to, it's probably been a year since maybe a little less, but Blood Incantation, and their album is called Absolute Elsewhere. This was put out by Century Media in 2024, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. This is 2 tracks. Side 1 is the Stargate, or song 1 is the, no, it actually says side 1. Side 1 is the Stargate, and side 2 is the Message. So if you've never heard Blood Incantation, they started out their career as a straightforward death metal band. And then they put out an album, which coincidentally will also be in my pickup videos. Geez, I'm giving away all my pickups. They put out an album or an EP called Time Wave Zero, which was like an ambient, electronic, sort of new age kind of sounding, which was a bit shocking to people who really like their death metal. This one, Absolute Elsewhere from Century Media. This is kind of a cool mix of both. So it kicks off with the death metal, and then it goes into some, it almost sounds like, how would I say that? I think I compared it to like a more ambient version of The Police. It's very different. And then it goes into this full-on ambient stuff. And I think my friend Tyler told me that some of the people from Tangerine Dream are in here. I can never remember this stuff. But yeah. And this guy in the band, which do they list the band members? Paul Rydell, Riedl. You can go check him out on Bandcamp. He actually does his own like ambient albums as well. And I really, really was into that a couple of years ago. Special guests, Thorsten Qualschning, Nicholas Malmquist, and Malt Garrick. And they appear courtesy of Tangerine Dream and Hallis and Sajin. And yeah, this is a really good album. I popped this on in the car the other day. I was listening to some Tangerine Dream, and then I was craving something a little darker, a bit more metal. And this was the perfect blend. So Blood Incantation absolute elsewhere. I can't say everybody here would like it, but those are kind of two things I've been listening to a lot this week. So that's what's on the hi-fi. I was going to attempt to talk about... Oh, God. I totally disappeared. Wow. Ooh, spooky. Well, it is October. I mean, I was going to talk about new release DVDs and stuff like that, but I didn't get around to doing my research, so shucks. So this will probably end up being a bit shorter of a hangout, but I will be doing, either tomorrow or the next day, a thrifting haul video, which I know some of you probably miss. I used to do those a lot. I've actually started to reduce my consumption of physical media, and I've been downsizing my collection and kind of trying to just have my favorite stuff, which I know a lot of physical media collectors are doing. Where it seems like it's a trend on YouTube anyway, that people are like downsizing their collections or just trimming the fat. So, and I may have mentioned this in my last video, but like the last, up until a couple of years ago and the decade before, I had been moving a lot for work. So I was doing contract work in radio, and I basically whittled my possessions down to what could fit in a rental SUV. And so a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, I started looking around. I thought, oh my God, if I wanted to move right now, the last time I moved, I had like 10 banana boxes full of DVDs and VHS. And I was just like, this is not a sustainable model. Even as much as I love films and physical media, this is not a sustainable model. So I think, so I was like trimming the fat really quick, and getting rid of stuff, and I was selling a lot of stuff, which was awesome, and saving up some money for some projects. And I started thinking, like, it's not that different. Like when you go to Value Village or a charity shop or a pawn shop, and you buy a movie, you pay $3, $4, $5, or a little more at Value Village lately, it seems. But you buy that movie, you watch it, you could easily just return that movie or give it to a friend to watch, because it's not that much different than when we used to go to the video store and rent a movie and return it, right? So my thinking is, maybe what I'll do is I'll curate my favorite movies and my favorite music, and maybe digitize some of them, and then maybe I'll just like buy a movie or two a month, and like a used one, and I'll just give them back when I'm done watching them, unless of course I find something really like obscure or like really crazy cool. But for instance, I was going to put the movie Casper on with my niece the other day, and I couldn't find it on streaming anywhere. It's subsequently become available, but I thought that could easily be a movie that I could buy, watch it with my niece or on my own even, and then just give it back to the charity shop, or even take it from Value Village and give it to one of the local not-for-profits that actually does stuff in the community more directly. I know Value Village does some stuff with Big Brothers Big Sisters, but to give it more directly back to a local charity is what I should have said. So I don't know, it's just a thought. It's just me spitballing. The thrifting haul that I'm going to be doing tomorrow or the next day is going to be mostly compact discs, though I do have a few movies, but it's going to be a lot of compact discs. Because the other thing I've been doing is downsizing my CD collection, because over the pandemic and the subsequent years, I was buying a lot of CDs for really cheap, like $1, $2, and I was buying stuff that I didn't really love. So I've been able to, move that on, get some credit at some cool shops, and get some stuff I really want. So that will be in that video. Trying to think if there's anything else. I was going to do some reviews. I know I watched Quicksilver and Repossessed, and I watched something else, and I was going to do reviews, and I've just been really lazy, so my apologies for that. But yeah, just kind of getting back to my normal recently. Feeling better, getting my medications adjusted. Um, just taking stock of my life and what 2026 will look like. So I know I don't want to jump the gun. We're only in October, but it's never a bad thing to think about things and plan ahead. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, Shout out to Renegade Records in Dartmouth, which I think I mentioned. Tom is the person that owns it. Tom's super cool. So if you're in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, go check out Renegade Records. I'm not an affiliate. It's just a personal shout out. What else is going on? I guess that's about it, guys. This is a short Hangout video, but to make up for it, I will be, of course, doing a thrifting haul tomorrow or the next day. So make sure to be tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. I feel like I'm forgetting to say some things, but yeah, it's all good. Maybe half an hour is enough for you. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to listen to me yang on about all this stuff, but I will say I'm looking forward to the temperature actually cooling off and maybe actually getting out for a bike ride, which would be nice. I did go for a couple of rides last week, which was really nice. So we'll see. Let me know in the comments below what you watched, physical media, streaming, what you've been listening to. I know my friend Corey made a comment last week about what he was up to, so that was super cool. And you don't have to, of course, you don't have to. If you like this kind of content, consider giving me the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I've lost quite a few subscribers since I've sort of tweaked the channel a little bit. Not to say that this will be the ongoing forever format, because my channel has evolved. I've been working on some music. Last week I worked on a couple of songs, so I should have another music video coming soon, I hope. And other than that, that's it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you've made it to this 32 minutes, thank you for watching. God bless you. And until next time, I will see you in the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.